change my microphone, but I want to continue the live that I started earlier. So, welcome to Aries Rose TV. If you're not familiar with me, I'm Aries Rose. We're just going to chat here, talk about some of the latest hot topics that are out. We're going to talk about Jay-Z, who filed a case against Tony Buzbee, and the Jane Doe that had filed a case against him, claiming that he had took advantage of Jane Doe when she was 13 years old and how went to the VMAs in New York back in 2000, I believe was the year. Then we also got to talk about, see, I wrote down some stories here. President Trump, Vice President Vance, and President Zelensky of Ukraine had a meeting recently. I want to say it was Friday of last week. That was pretty interesting. Definitely never seen anything like that coming out of the White House. And I seen a notification today that President Trump has paused all military aid to Ukraine. So it seems that that meeting did not yield the result that President Zelensky may have been looking for, but definitely going to keep an eye out on that story. So let's talk about Jay-Z and this case that he filed recently. So Tony Buzbee had been filing some lawsuits against Diddy, and these people were claiming Diddy had did things to them, taken advantage of them, and that there were other celebrities that were involved as well. And Busby was saying that he was reaching out to those celebrities kind of behind the scenes, trying to settle before it makes it to going to court as a case being filed. And that attempt was made with Jay-Z, and Jay-Z did not want to settle, did not agree with the allegations, said he did not do anything wrong. And when that case, when Busby amended the case that was filed against Diddy and included Jay-Z's name in there, that just kind of blew up. That got so much notoriety because Jay-Z is a huge name, especially in the music industry. He's definitely up there at the top, and his wife is Beyonce, who's definitely at the top of her game as far as the R&B pop world. So definitely when you are coming for a person who's on that superstar status there, you got to make sure you have your A game in place. And it seems like that may not have been the case in regards to this one. So the Jane Doe that had filed the lawsuit against Jay-Z and Diddy had went on, I think it was maybe ABC, but let me know if you know the station that she went on and did the interview if I'm wrong and it was not ABC. Let me know what station she did the interview on. And she talked about that day, kind of what occurred. And I remember watching it thinking, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but what do I know? And it was definitely holes that other people saw in that story as well. And I thought it was pretty surprising that BuzzFeed would let her go on national television to talk about that, um, because it was an ongoing case at that time. So everything that she said there could have potentially been a part of the case. So I'm pretty surprised, but I'm not sure if he okayed that or not, or kind of how that interview came about. But I didn't think it was a good thing when I saw it. And then from there, Jay-Z and his lawyer, I believe the name is Alex Spiro, was talking about, well, that case should be thrown out because the story is questionable. There's a lot of holes in there. Her father, who she said picked her up from there after this incident had occurred, picked her up, I want to say, from a gas station when the station that she went to and did the interview checked into the registered address around that time frame. It would have been a 5-6 hour drive to go and pick her up from New York. So that's definitely something that you would think would be memorable, especially if that situation had just occurred and it's your young child. The father did not recall any of that happening. So that kind of fell apart there because he should be able to corroborate something of that level that should stand out as a big memory. And he said he didn't remember doing that. And, I just think the case kind of lost steam. Now, according to Buzbee, that case was vetted by another law firm and was given to him. And allegedly, there were other lawyers that interviewed this Jane Doe, and her story stayed the same. But nonetheless, that case was dropped. It was dismissed and dismissed with prejudice, which means it cannot be filed again. But Jay-Z is not letting it go at that. He is now filing a lawsuit against them, saying that Buzbee and Jane Doe knew those allegations were false when they made them and they still did them anyway. It's like a way to get money. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm definitely following that. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments. Not sure if Jay-Z may or may not have a case to it, but I do find it interesting once he was brought in, kind of how everything played out, and then it got dismissed and dismissed with prejudice. So I feel like if there were some truth to the allegations, it wouldn't have been dismissed, and it would not have been dismissed in a way that it could not, charges can't be filed in the future. But I'm not an attorney. Let me know if that's normal, of course, even if there is some truth to it, or if maybe that means they just didn't have enough evidence to back up what they were trying to allege Jay-Z had done to move the case forward. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. So if you are here on the live, let me know if you are a returning Aries Crew member by saying hashtag Aries Crew in the comments, or let me know if you're a first-time viewer by leaving first-time viewer in the comments. I want to give you a shout out. If you have not already done so, make sure you like and follow the page and hit that notification bell so you can find out every time I go live, post videos, post shorts. I also do polls on the page as well. So feel free to check out and explore. We got a little bit of everything here. All right. Welcome. Thank you. You are a follower. Looks like you left a hashtag Aries Rose TV in the comments. Appreciate that. I see a comment, spare any change. So I'm going to use that as a segue here. So President Trump and President Trump and President Zelensky of Ukraine and Vice President Vance had a meeting on Friday of last week. Now, I have to say, I do follow politics and I watch quite a bit of stuff on it. Maybe not as closely as some people, but I am dialed in. I do enjoy it. And I saw some parts of that meeting, and I have to say, my jaw kind of dropped. I couldn't even imagine what the energy felt like in the room to be there personally, but I know what it felt like watching it go down. And it was something I never thought I'd see take place in the Oval Office. I'd have to say it's definitely a different time now with the political landscape here in the United States and how we are interacting with the rest of the world. And I think it's an adjustment that if you're used to the way it used to be, everybody's just kind of trying to take it in and see where it goes from here. But that was definitely one of the most contentious meetings I think I've seen between world leaders. If you watched it, let me know what you thought. If you watched it, leave a 1 in the comment. If you're going to watch it later, leave a 2. If you have no plans on watching that at all, just leave a 3. Curious to see where everybody lands on that. But if you did watch it, let me know what your thoughts were on that meeting. All right. Let me know what your thoughts were on the meeting. Okay, you were there. All right. Is it Eva? Let me know if I'm saying it right. Hello, welcome, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate that. Let me know if I got the name right in the comments. And so it looks like a fallout result of that meeting, potentially. President Trump has cut off all U.S. aid to Ukraine. There was an order signed on that today. I was reading, I got to do a little bit more digging on that to get some more information, but that's definitely signaling something there, and we'll see kind of how that goes, how that's accepted, and where we go from here. Very interesting times that we are in right now, to say the least. And let's talk about. Let's see, did you guys see that there was another? It was luckily averted, but I want to say maybe Chicago, but I could have the city wrong, that there was another almost collision on the runway with a plane. So a commercial airliner was coming in and they were trying to land, and a jet was getting ready to take off, and they almost collided on the runway. But fortunately, the pilot that was landing did some quick thinking and averted that accident from happening, which is wonderful. But I'm sure it was still scary for the people who were on the plane. Um, Yeah, news and politics can be negative. That is so true. It can be, but it's still good to be informed because there are things that'll impact you and you just won't know about them if you're not watching. So it's still good to kind of watch, but you probably don't want to be in there for too long because it is politics and news is getting heavy and really negative, especially right now. It's very unfortunate. I think I was seeing something about tariffs too going into effect um, with Canada and Mexico. So doesn't look like politics will be leaving the news anytime soon. There's lots of moving and shaking that's been going on that way. Then we got but yeah, let me know if you guys seen. Yeah, well, they say they're a president, so maybe I'm lucky tonight and have one in the chat. Thanks for stopping by, Ken. But let me know if you saw that um, potential plane collision there and what you think about all these aviation accidents that have been going on. I'm sure these happen fairly regularly, but I'm not accustomed to hearing about so many situations going on with planes. So it's got me thinking, is there something going on with what's kind of happening, especially for that one where 67 people lost their lives? That was pretty sad. That one definitely made me tear up. It was very sad that everybody lost their life and just what happened with that. That's one I'm definitely going to be following. I think it was one that happened out in DC, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm going to be following that one because I want to see what comes out of that investigation that's done on there. But may they all rest in peace. That one was really sad. And I think there was some others that have occurred as well. There was like a medical helicopter or plane that had went down as well. So they're definitely going to be busy doing some aviation investigations for sure. Something is going on. But let me know your thoughts in the comments here. And if you have any stories or things that you would like me to talk about, feel free to leave them here in the comments, or you can leave it on a post that I have on my page. If it's something I have information on or something I'm able to find, I'm glad to do a story on that. Thinking about doing lives more regularly during the week. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you want to see those, leave a 1. We were talking about aviation accidents. Magnificently molded. Thank you for stopping by. So let me know your thoughts on these aviation accidents that have been happening recently. It's pretty sad. I was talking about a near collision. I want to say maybe happened in Chicago when a commercial commercial jet was trying to land, and then another jet was going to be taken off, and they almost collided, but the pilot for the commercial jet was able to avert that accident from happening. It's still scary how frequently there's stuff going on with these planes now. And but you got a lot of changes happening on the federal level. A lot of shakeups and changes going on. So I think we're going to be going through some interesting things here in the next few months as everything kind of starts to level out. And we'll see what the new norm becomes for the country and our lives. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. I may go back live again tonight. Gonna look up some more stories here so we can keep the conversation going. If you have not already done so, make sure that you subscribe, like, and share. It helps to get our page out there. It lets the YouTube algorithm know that folks are watching. We are on the road to 1750, trying to get 1,750 subscribers. Please help me out. I'd really, really, really appreciate that. And I thank you for stopping by to watch the live. We'll see you later on this week. Take care.